Welcome to Inside the Film Room. I'm Kristen Ergo alongside head football coach Will Healy. Coach Healy, it's been a fun off season. It started in January and February with the #1 recruiting class in FCS football. Then this summer, a lot of players more than ever staying on campus for voluntary workouts. And this fall, with a lot of competition in fall camp. What does that do for your football team as you go into year two?
Well, I think it gives us a shot, and it helps us keep pace with what everybody else in our conference is doing. So the summer is huge. Fortunately for us, we have Chris Laskowski, who I think does an unbelievable job with developing players, and it gives us a chance to be a little bit ahead of the game, installing offensively and defensively. And the competition part, I think, is what's going to take our program to the next level. So these recruits have lived up to the hype, and they've done a phenomenal job this summer. I think we've gotten bigger, faster, stronger, which should lead to more success, and our guys are prepared for the season.
Let's talk a little bit about the offseason, and especially the offense. Last year we had newcomer of the year. There's a lot of talent, especially at running back. What does it look like? Can Governor fans get pretty excited about what we're going to see offensively for the Governor?
Yeah, I think we have a chance to be very dynamic on offense. I think we've got really good skill position players. I think we're very good up front. We're deep in the running back room. We're still obviously going to have a freshman and a sophomore quarterback, so we got to make sure we're making good decisions back there. I think when you look at last year, you see such a discrepancy in the turnover margin, which killed us. We were 117th in the country, and we weren't talented enough to be able to overcome some of those mistakes. So we've still got to take really good care of the football. We've got to make good decisions, but I think we're talented and we can make some big plays on offense.
You're talking about offense. We want to talk about quarterbacks. I know Javon Craig, the last 5 games of last season, he really came on. Your offense came into a rhythm. How has he changed, or how has he matured this offseason?
He looks like a guy who's played a lot of football. He's had a great camp. I think Jeremiah and Benico being in this program has really elevated his play. And I think that competition's been really good for him. It's been a healthy competition. We've got some depth in that room. He's matured. He understands what it takes to win games in this league, and been very impressed with his progression. Think he's extremely talented. He's a great leader, and excited to have him go into game 1 as a starter.
Let's talk defense. I know you filled some gaps in personnel. What gives you confidence? What have you seen in fall camp that leads you to believe we can stop some offenses, especially in the OVC?
Well, we're a lot better up front. I think that's where it starts. Adding Corey Brown and Theron Hodges to the defensive tackle position has been huge. So I think we'll stop the run better, and that to me is where it all starts. We've got to continue to rush the passer well. We're more talented on the defensive side. So the same jumps that I think you saw offensively from us last year, you'll see defensively from us this year. We're a lot more talented. It's year 2 in the system. I think our guys know what we want to do on defense. We seem to have much better speed. We got some safeties that I think can get ball carriers down, and I think you'll see tremendous progress on defense.
And we will talk to the defensive coordinator, Marcus West, next. Welcome back to Inside the Film Room. We're alongside defensive coordinator Marcus West. Coach, you came from a fellow FCS program where you helped defensive linemen 4 All-Americans and 3 into the NFL. When you're recruiting or you're talking to players one-on-one, working with them, how does that experience help you here at Austin Peay?
First of all, it probably helps me more than anything. It reminds me that that there's a vision, that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that these players are going to develop just like those did. I think it gives the players I'm recruiting a vision to say, listen, the path has been laid. It's not me, okay? I've been blessed and fortunate to coach good people and good players. It's a system. It's a system that produces pass rushers. And I've been fortunate to be able to coach some, but having that success definitely lays the platform, the vision for future players and recruiters.
You've had a lot of success personally. You played in the NFL with the Colts and other teams. How does that help you from a scheme perspective?
So playing in NFL gave me a dying passion to rush the passer. So when I had an opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to do this defense, and I'm going to coach defense, and I'm going to coach. I want to build this off of, rushing the passer. We say all the time in our defensive scheme that we're going to be sound up front, and we're going to rush the passer before, and we're going to be aggressive in coverage. That's our philosophy. That's what we're going to do. Playing in the NFL, it gave me a passion to rush the passer. It gave me a want to learn more, to be a student of the game. When you're playing professionally, it's your life. It's 9 to 5. In college, it's 4 hours a day.
Right.
It's 9 to 5. It's what you do. It's what you study. It's what you become. So it became my life, and here I am.
Over the past 9 months, you've worked with the defense. What type of progression have you seen since the last time we saw them?
You want to know the biggest thing that's been great for this year is Coach Healy has fought his butt off to be able to get our players here this summer. Being here this summer and being able to spend time with them this summer. When we walked in our first summer meeting, we looked and I looked around. I installed our first day one. I said, "Oh my gosh, these guys are going to be here when it's day one for camp." So I mean, the day one of camp and the day one of the summer was just a repeat.
Wow.
So I mean, that allows you to be able, that's the biggest thing. Our guys got smarter. They understand the system more. They got a chance to be around us as coaches and kind of reiterate some of the things that you said last year, you said in the spring, and it just becomes repetition.
You talk about message you send to your players over the past 9 months. What do you want your defense to be known for?
I want somebody to turn on the film, and I want to say, wow, they play hard. I want people to look at the film and think we're playing with 12 when we're really playing with 11. I want to run hard. I want to be sound. I want to rush the passer before, and I want to be aggressive in coverage.
I have to ask you a personal question. Your wife, Nikki, is a very successful collegiate basketball coach. Now, in your personal time, do y'all talk, relationship with players and give tips to each other, or do you talk no ball at all?
You want to know what's funny? We actually talk about more so our relationships with our head coaches. We actually probably talk about stories of Coach Moore or Will, Coach Healy. We're both blessed to work for unbelievable people. So we talk about, well, if we ever have the opportunity to be a head coach, man, Will does it like this, Coach Moore does it like this. If you would, you do it like this. So it's more just about relationships of relationship with head coaches and experience of being coaches to each other. So it's fun. She's the real coach. I mean, I promise you that.
She's amazing. Thanks for being with us. All right, we go one-on-one with Prince Mamadou coming up next. Welcome back. I'm next to Prince Mamadou, running back for the Governors. Something very special happened over the weekend, but before we get to that, I want to know, why did you choose to come to Austin Peay without a football scholarship?
Well, at first for me and my family, it was a real tough decision, but I talked it over with my head coaches in high school, and they really believed that it was the best move for me. And I put God first, and I let Him lead me here, and I haven't regretted it since.
Made a good decision.
Made it.
Okay, so walk me through the day that you learned you had earned a football scholarship.
Well, to begin, I was kind of late to church service because I had to pick up one of our kids that come to practice. His name is Little D, and we were on the way to church, and we pulled in the parking lot. I seen Coach Healy, and he's like, "Well, I'm glad that you're here." And then we went into church service. Church service began. Everything was great. Everything from beginning to end, it was great. And then the pastor invited Coach Healy to speak with the crowd. And Coach Healy, he did his thing. It was amazing what he was saying. And then he started talking about earning and on a personal level. And then all of a sudden, he just called my name. I was surprised. I was really surprised. And then I went on stage, and he just told me I had a scholarship.
That's why we're going to put Prince on scholarship.
Come on. Yeah.
Tears of joy just came straight from my eyes, and I just thank him and God every single day. I just thank him for it.
Was your heart racing when he called your name?
I felt my heart drop, honestly, but it was amazing.
Who did you call afterwards? Who was the first person you called?
First person I called was my mother, and she was next to my grandmother, and my mother, she cried while she was on the phone, and I cried with her, and that moment was amazing. I called my my coach from high school, and he was really excited for me, and he just told me to keep working and just don't stop, and I told him that I won't.
When I mention your name to the coaches, it brings a smile. You've played in 10 games your freshman year without a scholarship. You played in 10 games. You score a touchdown. What do you think you've done to earn their respect?
Well, I mean, it's not about me, honestly. I don't put myself before my teammates. I won't put myself before my teammates. It was because of the offensive line. It was because of the defensive players that play across from me. It was all because of them. And every time we come in practice, every time it's game time, I try to bring whatever I can bring to the table to help this team win.
You have a reputation for inspiring others on your team. So who inspires you?
Who inspires me? Guys like James Coleman, Jason Williams, Kyron Moore, Malik Boyden, all guys like that, because we've been through a whole lot throughout growing up as a young kid until now. And we all have a goal in winning ball games, not just looking for the future in our own lives, but to winning now.
There's a lot of depth at running back for the Governors, right? A lot of competition this fall.
Yes, ma'am.
So what have you learned from the other guys?
I've learned that we have to get better each and every day. I've learned that we can't just stay in one place. We all have to get better. As my running back coach, his name is Sean Dawkins, he tells us each and every day, we got to get better. And I take that to heart. I know I personally have to get better each and every day after practice and games, and just get ready for Saturdays.
Best of luck. We're proud of you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. A preview of Cincinnati coming up next. Welcome back to Inside the Film Room. Coach, when I say Prince Mamadou, what comes to your mind?
You got to smile. He's exactly what you want in a football player. I think he's tough, he's physical, he works so hard, and he's always got a smile on his face doing it. You know, you coach guys like him that are so low maintenance, that just go to work every day, put their hard hat on. And so when we got to the end of fall camp, I had to find a way that we were able to put him on scholarship. He earned it, and it wasn't like I gave him anything, or he's practiced so consistently. He's carrying the ball really well for us. He played a lot for us last year as a true freshman. You know, so he embodies our athletic department motto of be a Gov, be a champion. And if we had a team full of Prince Mamadous, I'd feel really, really good about where we are.
First game at Cincinnati. What do you know about the Bearcats?
I know they're well coached. You know, it's obviously Coach Fickle's first game. I know they're talented. I know it's a program that for a long time has had a lot of success. And I think any year when you have a new coach, you'll have some attrition, you'll have a change of culture. But I know he's hired right. He's got some really good coaches on staff. You know, we're not real sure what to expect from a scheme standpoint. You know, we've been able to watch their personnel, and we know they're talented at a lot of different spots. But and they've added, you know, I know a really good transfer wide receiver from Louisville that will help them offensively. They're making some adjustments and still have a competition going at the quarterback position. Both of those guys are very talented. One of them's played a lot more than the other. They've got a freshman back that it seems like they're very excited about. I think they've recruited right. I know he'll do a great job there, and it'll be a really tough battle. We'll have to play great. They'll have to give us some breaks, and it should be a great atmosphere. It's supposed to be close to a sellout. Heard it's a beautiful stadium, and I know they'll be ready to play and be very well coached.
Fans love to talk about starting lineups. Coaches, you guys love to talk about depth. Is there a particular position group that you're excited about watching play out this fall?
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and I wish I had a better feel for how all that stuff would go, but until you get into the first game, you don't really know. And we're still a really young football team, so there's a lot of guys who have not been put in the environment that we're going to be put in on Thursday night. So I'm interested to see a lot of them. You know, I mean, I think we're talented in the running back room. We've got good depth there. We got a bunch of guys who can play. But who knows what they'll do when the lights come on. You know, I think we're really talented at quarterback, but we're going to play a freshman and a sophomore. We're talented at receiver. and we've got a, our game is so much perimeter oriented that what those guys do in the run game is still just as important as what they do in the pass game. So tight end, James Coleman's obviously a guy that we feel really good about coming back, but you're adding 3 or 4 freshmen with him. So up front, we'll throw in a couple extra guys. I think we're deeper there on the offensive line than what we've been, but you've got some really good experience up there. And then defensively, I'm excited to see the progress. I think that we've got some really good talent on the back end. I think those guys have competed hard. I think they're a lot more physical. They're more prepared than what they have been. Going through this system for the second year now, I think will really help. And so there's a lot of position battles. Special teams, all of it is, I'm anxious because I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know how they'll respond. I feel great about it. I think we're as prepared as what we've ever been. They put in a lot of really hard work. They're bigger, faster, stronger than they were a year ago, and we've added really good depth in all areas. So the competition's been really good, and now it's time to go turn the lights on, strap it up, and see what happens.
What's going to be key to have success on Thursday night?
Well, we can't give them any gifts. I think the turnover margin is huge. I think when you see games like this get blown out, it's a punt return, a kickoff return, an interception for a touchdown. It's a turnover in your own territory. So we've got to be really good with the football and take really good care of it.
Kickoff at 6 p.m. at Cincinnati Live on ESPN3. You can watch that there. You can also follow updates on social media at Austin Peay FB and Let's Go Peay during the game. All post-game coverage will be on letsgopeay.com. Thank you so much for joining us on Inside the Film Room with Coach Will Healy. I'm Kristen Ergel. We'll see you next week.